Hello everyone, welcome back to the workbench. What spurred this specific video was John 6821. We were doing a, I'll correct that if I got that wrong. He was doing a live stream and he was running some switching ups with his Athearn SW1500 switcher, and we got onto the topic of adding a keep alive because it kept stalling out on one of the switches. So I offered to put up a video of how I fit the Keep Alive along with the Sugar Cube speaker and an ESU decoder. And I think the key trick, and I did find John a video from the third. It looks like you still kept the plug and play board. What I had to do was, obviously that board takes up too much space, so I went with, I think it's the 8 pin decoder, and cut off the pin and just hardwired it. So we have all the resistors there, and then I made a little platform right above the gear tower, right, and then I put both the Sugar Cube speaker and the ESU mini pack. And then for the LEDs, I did mention this has a full SP light package. Those are pretty much micro LEDs, so one LED per headlight. And then because I was crazy, I did light the number boards. Not my best work, but it works. It functions, let's put it that way. And then the SP light package in the back, and I kept the cab interior. But in short, the way to get both the Keep Alive and the Sugar Cube is use one of ESU's smaller decoders and just kind of put a platform instead of the plug and play. So I hope that helps. And then since I'm at the workbench, I might as well show off some of the other engines I have completely torn apart. This one, which my camera doesn't want to focus on, let's give it a minute. There we go. This is the frame to my BLI GS4. I finally brought it out to the workbench to kind of help get it running again. The parts, the replacement parts, which is the gear tower, is on the way from BLI. I'm going, and if anyone has any tips, I need to replace the gear on the main driver has cracked, and I need to replace it. They don't sell the full driver with the gear installed, so I need to figure out how to take this apart, put the new gear on without cracking it, and then reassemble it, and then properly quarter it so the engine runs. So while I was doing that, I went ahead and I ripped out the Broadway Limited electronics. I'm not getting replacements for those. The only parts I got were for the drivetrain, so that's within their policy. And then I'll be putting some ESU, probably a V5 decoder, new speakers, and then I'm replacing the smoke unit with weight. I just didn't like, I think the smoke unit actually burned out, so I'll be replacing that. The shell and the tender and all the extra parts and screws are in a self-enclosed sealed container so they don't get damaged. But I left this here because it has, as you can see, I have some screws that go back, so everything's laid out in place. And then over here, the other GS4 project, is this Bachmann GS4. It was a first run of the DCC single frame. This one did quit running. Essentially, I had to take it apart and put it back together. I think some of the gears locked up or wheels locked up or whatever. And then what I decided to do, just to have fun with it, if you notice, this is really shiny, and I'm not a fan of it. Also, this engine was 4449, which is the same number as my BLI locomotive. So what I've opted to do was I took off the road number, and I did a better job on this side. As you can see, I actually didn't hurt the paint. I went ahead and weathered it pretty heavily, actually, for a daylight. And then I've gone ahead, on the inside, I've replaced the LEDs, so we have the separate gyro light, separate headlight, and then I've put in LEDs in the number boards. I'm going to leave the front as just unlighted number boards. That's just not worth it. And then I've got all those wires coming into the cab where I have resistors, or I'll wire in the resistors in a quick plug. You can see here, this is the Bachmann motor. I was thinking about trying to repower this, but it's for this model I don't think it's worth it. So I cleaned it up, put it back together. As you can see, this is ESU. It's an Atlas fit-in board. That's just what I have on hand. And then, yeah, one other thing, if you notice here, I still need to do it on the tender. I've knocked off the white walls as part of the weathering, and I have put pastels and some airbrushing on the wheels so they don't look so shiny. So this will kind of be a worn daylight. I don't know if I'll make it like 4444 or 4445 or one of those numbers, but it'll probably do the occasional freight service that the GS4 did. So yeah, those are the projects on the workbench, and well, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know of any questions.